Why real estate? I love meeting a client and finding out what their genuine needs are and then creating a solution that effectively moves them from point A to point B, and it creates an environment where they actually enjoy themselves through that transaction, not where they're stressing and freaking out about, can they trust the people around them. So we were in a franchise up until about 5 years ago. We were part of the largest business in our region by a long way. We were doing probably 800 sales a year. So that was a challenge for us, and we sort of struggled with that for about 3 years and then decided that we can't fight it anymore. We knew that we were just leaking opportunities. So we kicked off Altitude on its own about 5 years ago. So it was all about building a business that was a traditional, it can run itself with management business. And that was our benchmark for success. And then reality kicks in a few years into that journey as well, when you've got a team that's approaching 50, you need middle managers in the business. And I realized that actually where the real joy is out in the field helping clients and listing and selling houses myself with a great team around me. UrbanX comes in probably because I got to the point where I'd realized that the paradigm had shifted, and I probably felt like I just had 2 full-time jobs, and trying to work that in with family was incredibly difficult. And that's when I bumped into UrbanX. I bumped into a few other iterations of the support model, but once I started to investigate them, most of them were pretty hollow, and it seemed like Dan and UrbanX had really mastered what Australian real estate needed. And so that's when Dan and I started talking. I needed to make sure I was part of a brand that could provide us with marketing that could stand up to the biggest, shiniest brands in the marketplace. And I needed to make sure that the back-end support wasn't going to be just all talk, that the back-end support was actually going to be real. And it turned out that it's been a great experience for us. The UrbanX model gives you an opportunity to have very, very little in the way of in-house support, so that the culture inside the organization is just one of, we serve clients. That's what we do every day. We're not here to talk about, can we do the trust accounting better, or can we launch the properties better? UrbanX just takes care of all of that. I don't have to worry about it. Autopilot's a software program that's built just for agents. It allows you to create agency agreements in there for clients. It syncs seamlessly with DocuSign. Literally everything is created. A lot of it auto-populates when you're filling out the fields. So it'll be a seamless end-to-end platform for doing everything that agents need to do in the field that normally used to either have to take us a lot of manual hours to do it, or a lot of support people in the background to do it, or you'd be jumping in and out of multiple third-party apps or software programs to do those tasks. I've got technology now at my fingertips that I don't have to go back to the office and work those extra hours to do that work. It's all on my mobile or it's on my laptop. The systems just make it easy. I think if there's another business out there similar size to us or bigger or maybe a little bit smaller, they need to probably ask themselves, what do they get if they're part of a franchise network for their 8, 9, 10% franchise fees? In my experience, not much. I see and meet so many great selling agents that tell you 2 or 3 years into their business, why did I do this? I'm making half the amount of money. I've got 10 times the amount of stress, because they're trying to run that traditional model, and that was never their strength. Lifestyle's already better. In UrbanX. From my point of view, I'm not thinking about the structure of the business or a resignation that's come in and a rehire of that position. There's none of that. I'm just getting up in the morning thinking about how can we help more people sell more houses.